Welcome back to the Economic Eye. In this video, we continue our chapter on scientific management by Taylor. This is part 2, where we will study some of the most coding and numerical based techniques, which are very important for class 12 board exams and competitive exams. So let us start with motion study. So motion study means carefully studying the movement of workers while they are doing a job. These movements include actions like lifting, placing, bending, sitting, or changing positions. The main aim is to remove unnecessary movement so that the work is completed faster, the worker uses less efforts. In simple words, motion study means doing the same work in less time and less energy. So, in motion study, all movements are divided into three types. Production movement. These are necessary movements like placing a brick correctly. Incidental motions. Indirectly related movements like walking to the storeroom. And unproductive motions, which are wasteful movements that can be avoided. So Taylor and Gallup used stopwatches, symbols, and colors to track these movements. What was the result? By removing unproductive motions, productivity increases and workers' fatigue reduces. Let us understand this with a bricklaying experiment conducted by Taylor and Frank. Earlier, a bricklayer used 18 different motions to lay one brick. This caused slow work and more physical strain. After motion study, the number of motions was reduced to just 5. Unnecessary bending and stretching were eliminated, which resulted in productivity increase almost 4 times. Workers felt less tired and worked more confidently. This clearly shows how motion study improves efficiency. Let's move to the next technique, which is a time study. Time study means finding out the standard time required to complete a job. It uses stopwatches, repetitive observations. Time study help management decides how much work should be done in a day, what wage and incentives should be paid, how many workers are required. In short, time study fixes a fair day work. Let's move to a numerical example, which is very important from an exam point of view. Let us assume the standard time to make a one box is 20 minutes. So in 1 hour, which is 60 divided by 20, we can have 3 boxes, right? Now total working hours we are taking as 8 hours. Exclude the break and lunch time, 1 hour. So the actual working hours is 7 hours. So daily output should be 3 boxes into 7 hours, which is 21 boxes. This becomes the standard task per day. So what are the uses of time study? So it is useful for fixing a fair day work, designing incentives, wage scheme, estimating labor costs, and better planning and control. One of the exam tip I would give you that you always write any 3 uses clearly to get the full marks. Now let us understand the fatigue study. Fatigue study focuses on deciding rest intervals and frequency of breaks. Workers can get tired physically and mentally. If they continue to work without rest, productivity will fail. So the main objective here is to maintain workers' efficiency for the entire working shift. Let's talk about the causes of fatigue, which includes long working hours, heavy manual work, poor lighting and ventilation, and bad relation with supervisors. Some of the solutions which came from Taylor were short rest breaks, if you have proper lighting and ventilation, and reasonable workload. This will result in higher productivity, better worker health, and fewer accidents at the workplace. Next is differential piece wage system. Under this system, wages are paid according to output. There are two different wage rates. Higher wage rate for efficient workers and lower wage rate for inefficient workers. Taylor believed that money is a strong motivator. So this system encourages workers to perform better. This is very important numerical question, so please take a note of the same. Let us assume the standard output is 10 units per day. So wage rate at or above the standard output, we will pay 50 per unit. Below standard, we will pay 40 per unit. So now say a efficient worker produces 11 units. So he will be getting 11 units multiplied by the 50 rate of 550 rupees. And on contrary, an inefficient worker say produces 9 units. So 9 into 40 will give us a 360. So there is a difference of around 190. This will motivate workers to reach or exceed the standard output. The main purpose of having a differential wage system are it motivates inefficient workers to improve. It rewards the efficient workers. It reduces time and need for supervision and increase the overall productivity. One of the exam tips would be you always compare two workers in your answer. That will fetch you more marks. Now let's see the famous pig iron experiment. The experiment was conducted at Belladum Steel Company. Earlier the output which the company was getting was around 12.5 tons per day. After applying scientific management, which is proper methods, training, incentives, output increased to 47 tons per day, whereas the wages increased by 60%. So daily wages rose from $1.15 to 1.85. This example is very important because it shows practical application of the scientific management. Proves workers perform better when given proper training, methods, and monetary incentives. It clearly supports Taylor's idea. So let us quickly revise. Motion study basically focuses on removing the wasteful movements. Time study fixes the standard time. Fatigue study focuses on ensuring rest and efficiency. Differential wage system motivates workers. And pig iron example is a real life proof of success. All these techniques aim at higher productivity and better efficiency. In the next video, we will study practical applications of scientific management, shoveling experiment, bricklaying example, and modern extensions like JIT, Lean, Kaizen, and Six Sigma. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to the Economic Eye for more simple, exam focused business studies lessons. Thank you and have a good day ahead.